So Netivot Shalom, right? Parashat Shmini, the 8th day. And the whole Sefer Vikra, basically, it's called Torat Kohanim. And happy birthday, although it's your the English birthday. We usually celebrate the Hebrew date, but we're accepting present on both dates.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so this is my present to you, the shiur about Aaron. Since you are a Kohen, you come from Mishpachat Kohanim. So the topic is, and also I want to dedicate the shiur to the Eloi Nishmat, the Rav HaGaon, Zochron Tzadik Levracha, Rav Shmaryahu Yosef Chaim, Ben Yaakov Israel, Zochron Tzadik Levracha, right, Rav Chaim Kanievsky.
Amen.
So, ויישא אהרון את ידיו אל העם ויברכם וירד מעשות החטאת והעולה והשלבים. So Aaron elevated or lifted his hand, right, to the nation, to the people, and he blessed them, and then he went down from doing the chatat and the olah, right, and the shlamim, like 3 different types of sacrifices. And Rashi explained what does it mean that יישא אהרון את ידיו ויברכם, which blessing he gave them. He gave them ברכת כהנים, right? לך השם ישמרך, יישא השם פניו אליך ויחונך, right? ירזם עליך וישא לך שלום. So he said, he gave him the Birkat Kohanim. He said, Yesh ledakdek. We need to understand it precisely, to explain. When it says, Ve'isa Aaron et yadav el ha'am, that he was elevating or lifting his hands to the people, which it wasn't written only that Aaron blessed them. It specifically, the Torah mentioning that he was raising his hand, right? And also we need to explain why the Birkat Kohanim, the blessing of the Kohanim, is called, right? It is titled, named, Nesiat Kapayim. Because the main thing is actually the blessing, the bracha. And the Nesiat Kapayim, elevating and putting the hand, right? Like everybody know it because of Spock from Star Trek, right? That he did that special thing with the, like, prosper and how you say, how he said the bracha? Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Right? Live long and prosper, right? Spoke. People doesn't know, the whole world knows this bracha. They don't know it's Birkat Kohanim, right? Yeah. So he said, but why the bracha is actually named after the hand, right? And it says in the holy book of Avodat Israel, it says, he explained the pasuk, right? When they gathered, the leader of the people, gathered together with the tribe of Israel. When they got together, right, they congregate, the Gedusha is increasing, and the righteous people is actually being elevated more and more. And the righteous person, the tzaddik, when he got that merit, he gained that enlightenment, and his da'at, his mochin, right, is the brain, right, when he got that elevation, he's actually making himself humble, mashpil atzmo belibo, in his heart, and he says, who am I that I gain so much of it? Certainly it's not because of my merit, but it is because of the merit of the people that they get together. He doesn't hold it to himself. And this is what he explained. He says, and this is the pasuk, right? The verse, Vayisa Aaron et yadav el ha'am, that Aaron was like elevating, lifting up his hand to the people. So Yadav, his hand, are actually like the two reasons or two time of will. The Malka, right, from Hashem, which is love and fear. And Aaron carry in his heart, right, that the fact that he has love for the people and fear to Hashem, or love to Hashem and fear from Hashem, right, it's not because of him, but it's because of the people that they influence him. And because of that, he gave them a bracha. Because he, like the fire of love to Israel caused him a greater elevation, right? But himself he couldn't get. And that's why he was blessing them. It's like hakarat hatov, you feel gratitude. And then it says, ve'yered me'asot hachatat va'olah v'ashlamim. Right? So he went down from that. Going down, not literally he went down in the stairs, but he's like making himself humble. Because he was tala gedusha b'zchut Israel, yarad me'asot hachatat. So he said that he was watching from doing the chatat because it's a chet, and also the olah and the shlamim. And because he felt that, because of Bnei Israel, because of the people, they got together, that's why he was be able to elevate, and then he make himself humble. And then he could actually make the peace between Israel, between the people, and our Father in heaven, right? Hashem. And also we could say, דהנה, ידיים הם ביטוי לכוחו ופועלו של עולם, right? The hands are actually the ones that are executing. We can think in our brain, okay, I would like to raise this glass and drink. I need the hands to do it. I can think about it the whole day. But if I don't have the hands actually to do it, or whatever parts in the body to do the action, then I can, like everything that I have in my potential, I cannot do the execution. I need something. And it says, so that's like in a manifesting or the expression of doing something in action. And according to that, we should say that also in spiritualism, that the midah, which is the main strength of the kedusha of the tzaddik, right? The amidah sheikar koach kedusha of the tzaddik, of a righteous person, right? It's called yadayim. Called yadayim. Right? It's called yadayim, the hands. Again, on a spiritual level. In the same way that we found in the war against Amalek, right? Which it says that Vayaka Shayari Moshe Yado vegavar Israel, right? We know the story that Moshe was raising his hand and Israel were conquering the Amalek. When he was tired and he couldn't lift his hand, then he wore it.
Then they put something underneath his hands to keep them up.
What?
They put something up, they put like stone or something underneath his hands to keep them up.
Yeah. He was sitting actually, he was sitting on a stone. Yeah, he was sitting on a stone and Aaron Yeshua was holding his hand. Yes, but the main thing is that spiritually the hand should be raised. And then we can conquer the Amalek. Right? They were heavy. So again, it's not literally heavy because of the weight, but it's a spiritual weight. And this is hinted about the midah of Moshe, that his midah was the da'at, right? The wisdom. That was his main strength. And this is the hands of Moshe kvedim. They were weight, they were heavy. Because against the shell of Amalek, you couldn't fight them only with your wisdom. Right? Amalek is a special thing. And also, we should say, according to that, what it says in Akedat Yitzchak, right? When Avraham, it says, "V'yishlach Avraham et yado v'kachat ha'macheret lishchot bno," that Avraham was like stretching his hand and he took the knife to slaughter his son. It was just enough to say that Avraham took the knife to slaughter his son. Why the Torah needed to mention that he stretched his hand to take the knife to slaughter his son? He was slaughtering his son. That's it, right? Why? So the kavana, according to that the midah of Avraham was the midah of love. And that was called his hand. And at the time of the Akedah, if he was holding only in that level of love, he couldn't slaughter his son. Right? He loved him. How can he do that? And therefore he was stretching. He was like sending his arm away. He was distancing his level of love. And again, just metaphorically, he became cruel, or he have that strength in it, that he could do what Hashem asked him to do and take the knife and slaughter his son. So we can see here that the hand can be used, or the hand needs to be go away. But the hand, it's on a spiritual level. And according to that, when it says, V'isa Aaron et yadav, that Aaron was lifting up or raising his hand, this is the midah of Aaron, right? Was love. And it says, Ohev Shalom verodef Shalom, right? Ohev et habriot u'mekavan ha'Torah, that Aaron midah was love. He loved the peace, and he was running after the peace, and he was like making peace between people, right? When he heard about two people that were fighting, he used to go to one of them and said, "Oh, your friend is regretting, and he wants to make peace." And he go to the other one and said, "Your friend is regretting, he wants to make peace," right? And none of them wanted it. But when each one hear about that the other one is regretting, wants the peace, then they will go together. "Oh, I'm sorry," right? So this is how he was bringing the peace between people. So he says, and also the Birka of the Kohanim, the blessing of the Kohanim, is also about love, right? As it says in the mitzvah, right? The Kohanim doesn't say, Hashem commanded us to bless Bnei Israel with blessing. What did they say? What did you say? Hashem commanded us to bless his nation with love. right? אשר קידשנו את ציוונו לברך את עמו ישראל באהבה, with love. Because this is the foundation, this is the yesod, the root of the mitzvah, to bless us with love. And that's why it's mentioning in the bracha, right? In the preparation before giving us. Right? And it says in the Zohar HaKadosh, כל כהן דהוא לא רחים לעמה, או עמה לא רחמין לא יפוס ידו לברכה לעמה. The Zohar said, a Kohen that doesn't love the congregation, or the congregation don't love him, you have an issue, he shouldn't go to the Duchan. He shouldn't. Right? And it says in Mishlei, Tov Ainu Yivorach, right? The one with his Al Tikre Yivorach Elevech. So the one with the good eye, he should be blessed. Don't say blessed, but will bless. He said, and that the root of the bracha, of the blessing, is love. Right? As it says in Sefer Dvarim, V'cha u'v'checha, that Hashem love us and Hashem will bless us. And the more the love, then the more the strength of the one who's giving the blessing to bless us. More and more, increase the chesed and the bracha. And including in the Tov Ayin, the one that have the good eye, that really the Kohanim, and you have like a serious responsibility, Mordechai, Yonatan, all the Kohanim, really to love us, not to hold any grudge. No matter what we do to you, you should love us unconditional.
But the Tehillah has to love the Kohanim also.
We love you. Of course. Right? It said that needs to have the love also with the one that are getting the blessing. Exactly. It's bi-directional. Because it says if the tzibur, right, have the love, then they are actually making themselves as a vessel to have the bracha, to be able to apply on them. And also we need to say on the pasuk, V'isa Aaron et yadav elam, that Aaron was elevating or lifting his hands to the people, that he elevated his hand, which is again the level of love to him. And he like planted it, embedded it in the Bnei Israel, so they should have love among each other. And then they will be able to have the bracha apply on them. And then he blessed them. And then he went going down from doing the chatat, ha'olah, and the shlamim. According to the word that he was mentioning in the book Avodat Israel, right, that we mentioned, that in that strength of the level of love, the midah of ahava, then the people actually were not sinning anymore. They stopped, and they were actually being elevated. And then actually it's like by default became peace between us and Hashem. And therefore, the Birkat Kohanim is called Nesiat Kapayim. Right? Which shows it's not just an external thing, a technical thing, that this is actually the main thing of bringing down the bracha, the blessing. When they're bringing up their hand, right? It's like they became a channel, like a pipe, taking all the bracha and the wealth and everything from heaven through their hand, and they're spreading it. Right? They're bringing the bracha of love on the people. And from that strength of the midah of ahava that is planting in them because of the kedusha of Aaron, then there is a room, there is a place, right? The people became the vessel that the bracha could actually be applying on the people. And this is the reason, the nusach habracha, asher kitshanu bekedushato shel Aaron. That's why all the Kohanim need to have the kedusha of Aaron, right? And he commanded us to bless his nation with love. That's why it doesn't say shekitshanu b'mitzvotav, like in the other mitzvot, but specifically about the kedusha of Aaron and to bless with love. Because this is the root of the ashrat bracha, to bring the blessing, which is the level. And the Kohanim are actually bringing it to us. And this was the midah of the kedusha of Aaron. And all the Kohanim were mitkadesh, they were sanctified with the kedusha of Aaron, and they received from him that strength and the level of ahava to bring the love to Israel. And by doing that, we're all going to be blessed. And that's the root of the mitzvah, Birkat Kohanim, from the strength of the kedusha of Aaron. And if you ever saw the Birkat Kohanim in the Kotel, it's unbelievable. I don't know how many hundreds or maybe thousands of Kohanim all together doing the bracha in the Kotel every, I think every Sukkot and every Pesach in the Chol HaMoed. Yeah. Unbelievable. And actually they're bringing the bracha to the entire world. Shkoyach.
Shkoyach, beautiful.
Especially for your birthday.
Yeah, I like